life raft. Now, what differentiates us from the rest of the world is we don't just throw an oar at them, or we just don't throw money at them. We bring them in the boat. We scrub them up, we clean them up, we feed them, we house them. We teach them how to clean fish. We give them an oar, we tell them to row, do their part. And when they get lazy ass and try to tell us how to do it, what do we do with them?
Throw them out of the boat.
Throw them out of the boat. Pack your shit. Pack your shit. I like that. Because it ain't fair to the rest of the boat. We get guys in here that blow holes in the bottom of my boat all the time. What do? Pack your shit. You ain't shooting holes in my boat because I'm not the only one going down. I got 40 other guys going down.
Okay.
So it's you guys' responsibility to join alongside and do the next part of that step. Having had a spiritual awakening, as the result of this step, we tried to carry the message to others. What message? You're drowning, fool! Get out of the water! Quit paddling and get in! I'm okay. I'm okay. All right. You okay? Yeah, I got this place I'm going. I got to take care of this. Yeah, I'll get in your boat, but my girlfriend's got to come with me. Always got conditions, right? If the guy's got any conditions, don't work with it. Get rid of the conditions first. Last night, wasn't it? We talked about hitting a bottom. All reservation has to be gone. If a guy walks in here and he says, I'd like to come in, but man, I can't give up the job. I can't be in by 4 o'clock. I got to keep my job, and they won't let me out work till 6. Why even start? Because what we do doesn't happen at 7 o'clock. It starts at 6, and you got to eat. You got to be prepared. You got chores. We got a routine, and we can't. This is not Betty Ford. You can't individualize treatment that much. Guys, got any reservations? Okay, fine. It's not the only place on the block. Go on down the road. That's okay. No hard feelings. I had a guy come in today. He wanted to come in here drunk. We only had 2. And a little weed. And you guys owe him what? Nothing. Throw his ass over. Let him drown a little bit more. I don't mean we don't keep an eye on a guy. We dismiss guys here. I constantly ask today, have you heard about Knucklehead today, Steve? Angel, have you heard from so-and-so? Have you heard from so-and-so? Hoping and praying that some of those knuckleheads that we treated, maybe you'd call, but somebody could say, hey, why don't you humble your ass and come back over there? He's not that unreasonable. He'll let you in. But you're going to have to do it his way this time. Isn't that right?
It is right. 100%.
So it's not like we totally discount people. It's not what our motivation is. We try to carry this message to other alcoholics. What's the message? Quit fighting. Quit planning. Quit scheming. Quit thinking. That's the tough part, isn't it? My sponsor used to tell me an alcoholic should either drink or he should drink or not think. He should either drink or think. He should never do both at the same time. Because I did things like, when I started drinking, I started thinking.
Yeah.
My first thought was, screw that judge. Who's he to tell me I can't drink on parole? What do you mean I can't go in that bar while I'm on, one of the conditions? I'm a veteran. Screw him, up his. And the more I drank, the more I thought. I'll just prove it to him so much I'll get in a fight with the cop tonight, and I'll tell the judge myself in the morning, You should drink or think, and never do both at the same time. maybe sometime this summer, last year, 2 years ago, was it, when Pastor Pat came out of here? This guy that I helped get sober, my first year, president of Vagos motorcycle gang. He wanted anybody in Arizona to chop up a little piece and put in the bottom of a little mine shaft called the Vagos. Pat was president of the Vagos. I helped him get sober about the same time I helped another guy who was a leader of an outlaw biker gang. What the hell was the name of that one? What's that Beatles song? Day Trippers. And these guys were like, no way. I sponsored both of them at the same time. And Pat was just plain crazier than I was. And I would do things drinking, like go into their biker camp and just go right into their ice chests. Now I'm rednecked out, man. I mean, you know, I got a ZZ Top beard, long hair, and all my buddies made me wear cutoff shorts. Because bib overall shorts, bib overall shorts with work boots. And the reason they did it is because I walked into a bar one night. I cut the hole out of the pocket to do my bib overalls. And I walked into a bar one night with a shotgun. And I pulled it out and put it up on the bar. And this is in Texas. Now, in Texas, if you get caught with a weapon in a bar, it's automatic. I mean, you're gone. So my buddies that we were drinking and traveling on the road at that time decided that I was too freaking crazy even for them. So they cut all my shorts out so that I couldn't carry a weapon in the bar. Anyway, that's my outfit. That's what I wore for 10, 15 years. And I'd walk in a bar. And I'd walk up to some sweetie. I'd walk up to some sweetie and I'd say, come here, honey. I'll give you everything I got in my pocket. She'd reach in my pocket. And they'd cut the hole out of my pocket. And I didn't have any underwear on. Crazier than a goon. Just plain crazier than a goon. Now, a lot of those war stories, and I got a maid, I'm honest to God, you can't drink in that little town that I drank in from 1972 to 1986 without, and fight every day, and be in and out of jail as many times as I was, and be as freaking nuts as I was, without having a million stories. I got Pat sober, helped him get sober. He was down here 2 years ago. My wife said, ain't nobody in the world have that many war stories. So he comes in and I said, tell her, Pat. And he said, whatever he says times 10. He was nuts. I would walk into a biker bar, grab a girl's blouse and pull it out and lick her tattoo. Tell her old man that they look better when they're wet. Now, what message am I trying to carry tonight? That if a goofball nut like me can get sober, you can get sober. God can change my heart and give me the desire to come back in here and share some of these ridiculous, stupid stories, not to brag, but to show you that God can take somebody as crazy and as nutty as I was and lift them up to where I'm at today with a heart and a desire to help you guys any way I can to not go back into that water. You don't have to go back into that water. You might go down to that titty bar again and put some more bucks in her G-string. You might even take Jesus with you to the dope hole, but you don't have to. That's the message. You don't ever have to drink and use again, but you're going to have to learn to think. You're going to have to learn how to respond. You're going to have to learn how to trust in a whole different way, because our thinking and our trusting was all self-centered, wasn't it? I wouldn't tell nobody nothing. I had my own plan. You didn't know me. The truth was, I didn't know me. I didn't know who God had created. I thought God had created a guy that was destined to be a drunk like his daddy, his grandpa, his great-grandpa, and great-great-great, and all the rest of them. I thought that was my lot in my life. That was my DNA. I was destined to die a drunk. I didn't know the power of God. The message we need to carry is that God can do for you and will do for you what you can't do for yourself if you'll surrender, Allow that Spirit to work in you. And then practice these principles in all our affairs. What's the principles? Anybody know what the principles are?
Brotherly love.
Huh?
Brotherly love.
I'm on the first four principles. Honesty,
Honesty,
hope, faith,
faith,
courage,
love, action,
willingness,
restitution, willingness, patience. Those are all fruits.
Long suffering.
Integrity.
Those are the principles we practice. What's the word practice imply?
Do it over and over again.
over
Who
and
wasn't
over
talking
again.
about golf today?
Over and over again.
Who was talking about golf today? Yeah. What happens when you grab a new guy grabs a golf stick? He doesn't do so good usually, right? How does he get good?
Right.
Practice. If a guy practices by himself, does he get good? Not usually.
Repetition.
You need some instruction. You need some guidance. You need some people to come alongside of you. So what are we going to practice? We're going to practice with some guidance, with some direction, with some people that have been there before us. If you get a kid a golf stick, what's he going to do? He's going to beat you with it, right? Give you guys these principles. What are you going to do with it? You're going to abuse them. You guys think love is about something that's sex. Love ain't got nothing to do with sex. Love is doing for your brother what he can't do for himself. Love is stepping up to the plate, giving somebody a pair of Levi's that doesn't have a pair. Watching when a new guy walks in the door and he's got a little mesh bag with him, just fresh off the bus. And noticing all he's got on his feet is a pair of Bobos. The next thing you know, magically appears a pair of tennis shoes. Then assuring the new guy, hey, don't worry about getting boots first day. They got you covered. And then one of the older timers coming up with 25, 26, 28 bucks, whatever boots are over at Walmart. And boots magically appear the night before a guy gets a job. I see it happen all the time here. That's love. And half the time we don't even know it's happening. I don't correct it. It just happens. Because you guys are learning to give away the way you received it. And many of you are doing it well. But if you don't start, just talk to Jerry. You're here to learn how to give with the right spirit. And if you leave here, you can be a giver for so long. But if you lose that love for that spirit, you get tired of giving. And you'll turn back into a taker. We're takers, believe me. It won't take long for us to revert back. I got mine, hell with him. You see it all the time. So when you guys leave here, the key to this whole program, this practicing these principles, is learning to continue to give away.
I don't necessarily mean material things either. Just giving your time, giving your ear to somebody.
Absolutely. We got guys that walk in here all the time, graduates that walk here all the time, look around. Hey man, how you doing? Introduce themselves. I was here and whenever it was. Try to encourage you and lift you up. Every once in a while, a guy will come through here and they know not to run. Most of them know not to go straight up to the mess hall up there. But every once in a while, one of them come in and say, go on up and introduce yourself to some of the guys. And I hope they make friends with you guys. I hope they report back and you guys receive the fact that, hey, there's a guy that did it. He's goofier looking than I am. If he can do it, I can do it. So it ain't all about giving up, shoes and money and this and what have you. It's about giving up your time. Jeremy also shared this afternoon one of the most valuable gifts he got when he got here was having somebody that would listen to him. Just giving somebody an ear. Not rubber stamping or BS, not even necessarily responding to them, but just giving them an ear. It's all most of us need, is to know that somebody's there and somebody cares. Having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to others. Don't give up trying, guys. If a guy doesn't respond, go on to the next one. Be prepared to make it go back around at him. Maybe you take a second or a third or even a fourth shot at the guy. Don't give up on one another. And to practice these principles in all our affairs. This is a good way of living. This is a good way of living. I wish I could just share with you how much God has blessed me over the years. I'm not talking material necessarily. I'm talking to you about the ability to walk out of here after putting up with all the crap that we deal with. And you know how petty some of it really is? But to walk out of here and to be able to set it aside and say, thank you, Jesus. You gave me the strength to try to help the best I could. And you've also given me the ability to rest tonight and to not drag my work home. I don't know about you guys, but all I ever wanted was to be at peace in here. It's all I ever wanted, just to be at peace in here. I was always at war with myself. Today I'm not at war with anybody. All right, any questions? Yes, sir, Walter.
Comment.
Comment, go ahead.
When you were listing off the items that the Lamb advised people to get them back on their feet, I think you missed one thing, which was to quote biblically, when I believe there was a beggar who approached the ministry and asked for some food and clothes. The ministries didn't give him any food and clothes, but instead they offered him the word of God. And because they knew that the clothes and food were only temporary, but the word of God was what was going to save them from the beggar. And you know, when I came to the Lamb of God, I was that beggar. In a very literal sense, I was a beggar. Everything I had came from other people. And so when I was here, I definitely had a spiritual awakening from my time here at the Lamb. Absolutely. I believe that wholeheartedly. And when that beggar lifestyle fell apart, it was through the Lord and my fellow Lamb and you yourself that saw me through that falling apart. And today I can finally say I'm no longer a beggar.
Amen.
The Lamb of God gives people that word of God, and that is more valuable than any material sacrifice.
That's cool. That's cool.
You don't know how proud I am to be a part of this ministry. You have no clue. You have no clue. Anybody else got anything? Yes, sir.
Earlier you were talking about when God doesn't look at our flesh but our spirit, but you said something else about our spirit, but of course my ADHD kicked in, so I missed it.
Said something about what?
You were talking about God doesn't look at our flesh but spirits. But you said something else about spirit, but my ADHD kicked in and my mind went somewhere else. I missed it. So I'm trying to find out what you were talking about. So I was trying to put it on my
Say the
notes.
sentence again.
I don't know. I don't know. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal.
What do
I
you
want
think?
you guys, when you're doing your notes here, we have a state license that demands that we give you guys so many hours of instruction per week. And one of the ways that we convince the licensing agency when they come in here to review us, that we gave you that instruction, is to give you guys a piece of paper so that you can write some notes, some comments, and then every day, either myself, Steve, or Tony, or Tracy, or Bernadette, we review those notes and we put a note to it. And then we put it in your file, and it's part of your file. Oftentimes what happens is we can go back through those progress notes daily and we can see a progression of change, either for the better, or sometimes it gets better and then it plateaus, and sometimes we see you going backwards. And what often, and I don't really care if you guys put on there, this class sucked, I didn't like the instruction, I had a shitty day or whatever, but if you do it often enough, guess what? You'll talk yourself right into a shitty day. You'll talk yourself right into not believing that this class has no value for you. So take it serious, but put something down to acknowledge that we gave you an hour of classroom time. Nobody's grading it, there's no A, B, C, D, E, or F, but we do look at it. I look at every one, and Doug, you got a slick ass tongue when it comes to writing group notes. And what that tells me is you're here doing time until the judge releases you, and then you're probably, because you don't hold a great deal of value in what we do here, at least by your own admission, your own writing, you probably won't put back in, and you'll quit doing what we've instructed you to do. And here we go again, it's a cycle. So treat it a little more seriously. And I called you out on that, and that's the first time I have in a long time.
I was just didn't have much to write that night.
Whatever night, whatever night, you know, and once in a while I understand it. Once in a while I understand you guys are hot, we talk too long, we talk too fast. You don't like this instructor, you don't like that one, it's not the topic you want, it was too close to home, or you didn't have a clue what we're talking. That's fine, write that down. But to continually say, this place sucks, or, that ain't cutting it, man. That ain't cutting. Why are you here? Why are you here? If there's nothing of value being taught here, let us know. We'll make arrangements to get you some other place. You don't have feelings, but be straight up. Be honest with yourself first, okay? All right. And particularly, I'm not too worried about what you guys write when I teach, because I've done heard it all anyway. But we've got Dave's come back in teaching, and I know Dave can be a real egghead at times, and he talks real fast, and he's like way up here theologically, and you guys are tired and you're hot. I understand that. We understand that. But at least be attentive, give him the respect. The guy's a volunteer. He comes in here, he doesn't have to. He's been coming in here every week for 20 years. He could be staying home with his wife and his grandkids, and doing the Boy Scouts with his grandkids. He could be doing all kinds of things. But he comes in here because God told him this is where he needs to serve. He can come out of an environment like this. He has a background in addiction. So show him a little respect. Be on time. Don't be grab-ass. Write your notes out, okay? Now, Dave doesn't read anything, but I do. Okay? You have something?
You talking about Dave? I said, I like him. I think Dave is very intelligent. He's got a lot to offer.
He does have a lot to offer, yeah. All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
Angel, thank you for helping today. All right. Tracy's in the hospital.
Pregnant
What'd you do to her?
Angel broke her heart.
Okay.
You did that last week.
We just talked about this.
She's having some heart palpitations last night and some stress and stuff, so they put her in last night. They'll keep her till tomorrow and give her some stress tests and stuff like that. So I have to see how this all works out. You guys keep her lifted up in prayer. I got to tell you where she's at, because she don't need these knuckleheads over there sniffing on her, all right?
Angel, take her some flowers.
Angel's gonna take her a big old heart problems.
Big
I'm gonna
Mac.
take her a triple grease burger.
Yeah, you got
That's
it.
right. Knock her
Chili
all in.
cheese fries.
Angel trying to finish the job, huh?
All right, fellas, thank you so much.